Welcome to Future Mind. You need to hear this if you're a conscious consumer. We live in a world of stuff. We are surrounded by it. We buy it, use it, and throw it away. The average American throws away 4.5 pounds of trash every single day. Think about that for a moment. Now multiply that by 329 million people. That's a lot of garbage. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. Our insatiable appetite for more is taking a toll on our planet and our wallets. We are consuming at an unsustainable rate, depleting resources and generating waste at an alarming pace. This is not just an environmental issue, it's a social and economic one as well. Consumerism fuels a system that prioritizes profit over people and the planet. It creates a cycle of consumption and disposal that is both destructive and unsustainable. We need to break free from this cycle. We need to find a better way to live. Consumerism is more than just buying things we need. It's a cultural ideology that equates happiness with material possessions. We are bombarded with messages telling us that we need the latest gadgets, the newest fashions, and the biggest houses to be happy. This relentless pursuit of more has serious consequences. It drives us to work longer hours, take on more debt, and neglect our relationships and well-being. It also fuels a global economy that is based on unsustainable levels of consumption and waste. Consumerism thrives on our insecurities and desires. It tells us that we are not enough, that we need to buy something to be complete. This creates a never-ending cycle of wanting and buying, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. It's time to challenge the notion that happiness can be bought. True fulfillment comes from experiences, relationships, and purpose, not material possessions. Our planet is finite. It has limited resources, yet we continue to consume as if there were no tomorrow. The production of goods requires raw materials, energy, and water, all of which are extracted from the earth. This over-exploitation of natural resources has devastating consequences. Deforestation, habitat loss, and climate change are just a few examples of the environmental damage caused by our insatiable appetite for more. The fashion industry alone is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions and 20% of wastewater. Fast fashion, with its trend-driven cycles and low-cost clothing, exacerbates these problems. We need to shift away from this linear take, make, dispose model of production and consumption. We need to embrace circular economy principles that prioritize reuse, repair, and recycling. What happens to all the stuff we buy when we're done with it? Much of it ends up in landfills, where it can take hundreds or even thousands of years to decompose. Landfills pollute the air, water, and soil. They release harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change. Plastic waste is a particularly pervasive problem. It's estimated that over 8 million tons of plastic end up in our oceans every year. This plastic pollution harms marine life, contaminates our food chain, and threatens the health of our oceans. We can't keep treating our planet like a giant garbage dump. We need to reduce our consumption, reuse and repair what we can, and recycle properly. We also need to hold corporations accountable for the waste they generate. Section 5. Drowning in debt. The financial strain of consumerism. Consumerism is not just bad for the planet, it's bad for our wallets too. The constant pressure to buy more often leads to overspending and debt. Credit cards and easy financing make it tempting to live beyond our means, but the consequences can be dire. Many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of debt, working longer hours just to make ends meet. This financial stress can take a toll on our mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. We need to prioritize financial literacy and responsible spending habits. We need to learn to distinguish between our needs and our wants and make conscious choices about our purchases. Section 6. The empty promises of consumerism, mental health and materialism. Consumerism promises happiness, but it often delivers the opposite. Studies have shown that materialistic values are linked to lower levels of happiness, life satisfaction, and well-being. The pursuit of material possessions can become an addiction, a never-ending quest for the next thing that will fill the void. This constant striving can lead to anxiety, depression, and a sense of emptiness. True happiness comes from within. It's about cultivating gratitude, connection, and purpose in our lives, not accumulating more stuff. Section 7. Real-life consequences. Stories from a consumed world. The human impact of consumerism is evident all around us. From the mountains of e-waste generated by our insatiable appetite for the latest gadgets, to the sweatshop workers toiling in dangerous conditions to produce cheap clothing, the consequences are real and often devastating. Consider the story of the Rana Plaza collapse in Bangladesh, where over 1,100 garment workers lost their lives in a preventable factory disaster. This tragedy exposed the human cost of our addiction to fast fashion. Or take the example of electronic waste, which is piling up at an alarming rate. These discarded devices contain toxic materials that can leach into the soil and water, posing serious health risks to communities around the world. These stories are a stark reminder that our choices have consequences. We can't ignore the human and environmental cost of our consumption. Section 8. Choosing sustainability, a path to a healthier planet and wallet. It's time to choose a different path, one that prioritizes sustainability, well-being, and social justice. This means rethinking our relationship with stuff and embracing a more conscious and responsible approach to consumption. We can start by supporting businesses that are committed to ethical and sustainable practices. Look for companies that use recycled materials, reduce their environmental footprint, and treat their workers fairly. Choose quality over quantity. Invest in durable, well-made items that will last longer and reduce the need for frequent replacements. Repair what you can and give new life to old items through upcycling or repurposing. Section 9. Financial wellness. Taking control of your spending and your future. Financial wellness is an essential part of a sustainable lifestyle. It's about taking control of your finances and making conscious choices about your spending. Start by tracking your spending for a month. You might be surprised to see where your money is going. Once you have a clear picture of your spending habits, you can start to make adjustments. Create a budget that aligns with your values and priorities. Distinguish between your needs and your wants and allocate your spending accordingly. Set financial goals for yourself, such as paying off debt, saving for retirement, or investing in your future. Section 10. Minimalism, finding freedom in less. Minimalism is not about deprivation, it's about intentionality. It's about surrounding yourself with things that bring you joy and value and letting go of the rest. Start by decluttering your home. Get rid of anything that you don't use, need, or love. Donate, sell, or recycle items whenever possible. Embrace experiences over possessions. Spend your time and money on things that enrich your life, such as travel, hobbies, relationships, and personal growth. Remember, minimalism is a journey, not a destination. It's about finding what works for you and creating a lifestyle that aligns with your values. Section 11. Small steps, big impact. The challenges we face may seem daunting, but it's important to remember that every little bit counts. We can all make a difference through our everyday choices. Refuse single-use plastics. Bring your own reusable bags, water bottles, and coffee cups. Support businesses that are working to reduce plastic waste. Choose sustainable transportation options. Walk, bike, carpool, or take public transportation whenever possible. Explore electric vehicles or consider living car-free if feasible. Educate yourself and others. Learn about the impacts of consumerism and share your knowledge with your friends, family, and community. Support organizations that are working to promote sustainability and social justice. Remember, change starts with us. By making conscious choices and embracing a more sustainable lifestyle, we can create a better future for ourselves and generations to come. Take small steps today for a big impact on our planet and your finances. Every action counts.